Yo, what's up guys? So Avatar released a new video where they talk about their chi system and their chi meter, and it's essentially kind of works the same way like Street Fighter's drive meter does. They have a similar thing called unbalance, which is like burnout, and I wanted to talk about some things that I noticed from the little 2-minute video that they put out. So I'm not going to put the video on here, but I'll link the tweet to the video in the description and you can watch it there, and then you can come back to the video. So you can trade chi for chakra orbs, right? And these chakra orbs have a sound cue every time you charge one. And when you charge 4, there's actually a sound cue for like a different sound cue from just charging 1, right?
Flow stance costs chi to activate and additional chi to sustain.
So I think that's to notify someone when you have enough for like a super attack. And I assume that's also the same thing for when you have 7 of the orbs instead of 4. Looking at flow stance, it looks like you can actually dodge any attack with flow stance. And it also looks like the direction that you dodge in is determined by the attack that you actually dodge. But flow techniques actually only dodge certain attacks. This reminds me of how in BlazBlue some characters have attacks that will be inbound to certain other attacks, whether they're body property, foot property, or head property. In most fighting games this actually exists in anti-airs, but in BlazBlue there has it in a lot of interactions. When it comes to dodging with flow techniques, it doesn't seem like it automatically punishes any attack that goes through it, but instead you have to go through a really long recovery normal or attack, and then you can punish that with a flow technique follow-up. As we've seen from the alpha before, throwing people in flow stance will result in a critical throw. And lastly, critical throws themselves don't actually seem to do any extra damage compared to regular throws, but you can combo after them, so that's really cool and I prefer that. So at 37 seconds we can see that Zuko does a down flow technique, it looks like, to dodge Aang's mid with his staff attack, and his back technique seems to dodge the lows. And they also show a follow-up to punish pokes. In the video they also talk about flow technique cancels, which is interesting. We've seen flow technique cancels with Zuko, with other characters before as well, but what we didn't know was guard cancelling. And it looks like guard cancels is actually split into 2 types, one that does damage and one that doesn't. I'm going to call the first one flow reversal and the second one guard reversal like they do. Now the thing about flow reversal is that because it does damage, I'm really hoping that it's not invulnerable. I'm hoping that this is kind of a pseudo reversal where if someone does a long startup after you've activated it, or they just don't do anything extra, you can actually punish them, but if they do, they can interrupt you. And I'm praying to God that it's not lethal. There just cannot be lethal guard cancels in any game regardless of whether they cost meter or not, or if they're invulnerable. This one uses 1/4 of the chi gauge, and I'm wondering if you can bait it out by using a low recovery normal like a jab or a jump in, or if you can do it by doing a long recovery normal and then cancelling that into a flow technique that will dodge their flow reversal. Now guard reversal on the other hand doesn't do any damage, it uses half your chi gauge, and they don't say whether it's invulnerable or not, but I'm probably assuming that it is. And I also hope that it's not like Street Fighter 6 where if you have literally 1/2 of a drive gauge left, you can use an EX special. I hope it's a hard stop on you need 2 meters of chi gauge to use a reversal. Same way how in most fighting games you need the full meter to do a super or the full meter to do a guard cancel like in BlazBlue. You can't do guard reversal just because you have 1/4 of your chi gauge, you need the whole half of it to do it. There also seems to be a slight chi gain lockout after you use a flow reversal or a guard reversal. They also give us some information on unbalanced. This is very similar to Street Fighter 6's burnout. And additionally to that, if you throw someone in unbalanced, it's always a critical throw. And as I predicted in my last video, any hit you take while in unbalanced is a counter hit. So that means extra combo potential, which is fantastic. I love that decision, and I think it's going to be really good for like the novelty of combos throughout the game's lifespan. Additionally, all knockdowns become hard knockdowns, which means no rolling, which means real Oki. And lastly, they show instant kills. Usually in fighting games, instant kills will win you the whole match. However, in Avatar, it looks like you actually have access to an instant kill after losing the first round, but you don't win the entire match if you land it in that second round. Instead, it looks like you just win the round. So there's going to be a little bit of weighing up whether or not you want to use it in the second round or save it for the last round. So for example, if you use your instant kill in the second round after you lost your first round, then that means you're going to be going into the third round with no chakra at all, whereas the opponent might have 4, 5, 6 or 7 chakra. But weighing up that decision making is also going to be relevant to how you decide to use your chi, whether or not you want to use it for movement or whether or not you want to use it for guard reversals during the match. And the very last thing I noticed was that the timer doesn't stop during true chakra arts. I think most supers in fighting games usually do stop the timer, especially when it's the highest tier of a super you can have, but don't quote me on that, and I don't think it's that big of a deal anyway. But that's all I noticed for this video, so I'm looking forward to the next one. I know they already have a chakra primer or chakra detailed video that is out as well. I want to make a video on that as well, so look forward to that one too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.